Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace.
Okay, so I made the executive decision that I'm gonna take a break from drinking because I just made a video where I give up vaping and smoking, basically quitting nicotine. And the only way that I can do that truly is to stop drinking, at least for like 6 months is my guess. I might go as long as a year, I don't know, we'll have to see. But I feel really excited about it because I've been kind of concerned with my relationship with alcohol for a while now, especially with the nicotine addiction. They just tied to each other and I found myself drinking more. A lot of the time to chase the nicotine, but still it alarms me and I don't like it. So I'm excited for this journey. I'm apprehensive because I think a lot of people know me as the party person, and I have so many friends that I've met through just going out and meeting strangers and having like long wild nights out, which I love, but I'm 30 now and the hangovers hurt a lot more. And, I just feel like I'm kind of growing out of that phase of my life a little bit. I don't know if I want to give it up forever, but I definitely want to try giving it up for 6 months, which will be the longest period of time I've not drank since I started drinking. I've done like 3-month stints in the past, and I felt really good, but I usually was ready to start drinking again by the 3rd month. So I'm curious to see how this is gonna go. Wish me luck.
We're doing great. It's been 12 days, almost 2 weeks. Not only do I not miss it, I found some good replacements like hoppy, non-alcoholic beer, which is very good. Also getting into seltzers, also just good old lemon water. There's so many good ones out there that, it's just like it satiates both the drink, and I have not vaped, stayed true to it. I really think that not drinking is like the key to success because I just don't see myself doing it sober. So right now I'm feeling like, let's see how long I can do this. Let's see how long I can kick the old devil's nectar, because I feel like a machine right now in a good way. Like I feel very healthy and very happy. My sleep is still not great. Falling asleep is still hard for me, but one thing at a time, And I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bit better than everyone else. I mean, not really, but really a little bit I do. Feels good to be like, no, I'm not drinking. Not in a judgy way, like you shouldn't be drinking, because I get it. It's fun. It can be fun. But I do feel good about myself because then, I don't know, I just do. And you know what? If so be it. Whatever it takes to get through it, right? That's what I say.
So I'm about 2 weeks into this whole no drinking thing, and I am feeling really good. I have my weekend planned out. I'm going to be getting up early both Saturday and Sunday. Well, early for a weekend, like 8 or 9 a.m. to do some workouts both days instead of sleeping in hungover, which is what I would normally do on the weekend. And that feels good, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm making the right decisions. I'm not saying it's right or wrong to do anything, really. Like, you make your own choices and whatever. But it just feels like the right thing for me right now. And I actually had the thought where I was like, when am I going to feel like drinking? Like, when is it going to feel right to drink? It's only been 2 weeks, so I don't know why I'm getting so far ahead of myself. But I guess it just feels different this time. Maybe because I know it's going to be for a while. Not a little while. At least half a year. So, maybe that's just the way I'm coping with it. I'm just like, yeah, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm a little nervous about how this is going to change like my activities and the way I socialize, and are my friends going to still be my friends in the same way? They should be, right? But like, it's kind of like nerve-wracking, I guess. So whatever. You can hardly even see me. It's so dark right now, so I apologize for that. And still no vaping or anything, so that makes me glad. This is definitely the way to quit nicotine if you're someone who's struggling with that. Not drinking is a really great way to do it.
One thing I've noticed about myself is I have more social anxiety than I remember having. And I have a theory, maybe it's a conspiracy theory, but maybe it's not. I hope it's not true, but it very well might be true that I never learned how to be socially apt in a sober situation. Well, that seems extreme. But like in the party, like I've never had to really be the party animal without the alcohol. Like I was always the last one out and like the person getting people to play games and stuff, but it was fueled by alcohol, confidence, liquid courage. And I want to see if I can do that soberly. Same with karaoke. Only ever did it drunk. So there are going to be a lot of firsts for me in this journey, at least first time sober. And I want to be the kind of person that can do all those things sober. Because that's like true courage. That's like a true party animal, or like a true life of the party, I don't want it to just be a thing when I'm drunk. I have noticed myself being nervous though, talking to people, which is weird. It's like even just the one drink crutch gives me something in my mind that like helps me, like the social lubricant. Am I speaking English right now? You know what I mean. So that's a goal I have for myself. Be the life of the party sober.
Okay, so I went to like my first night out since not drinking. It's been 5 weeks since you looked at me. No, it's almost been a month of no drinking. And it hasn't felt weird at all. The only times it's felt like an inconvenience is when someone else feels like they can't drink because I'm not drinking. But I went to a friend's pre-release party, and at first I was kind of awkward, like trying to dance because there weren't that many people on the dance floor. But eventually it got a lot easier, and I was like, you know what, screw it. I could dance when I was drinking. Why can't I dance when I'm not drinking? And I had fun. So I recently started some acting classes, and it requires me getting up pretty early. And I just find that I have so much more energy. I'm like, it's easy to get up early. I've started working out in the morning. I feel really confident. I just feel like if I had been continuing to drink and then vape, I just would have been not able to handle this, and like not able to handle the extra work and the stress. It just wouldn't have been a good combination. So I'm feeling really grateful that I've made it this far. It's been a month and 3 weeks. Still no drinking, still no vaping or nicotine. It has been mostly really easy, except for when I'm at a party. Obviously, it gets a little tempting to jump in and join in with everybody. But what I will say is my energy and my sleep schedule and my skin have all been thousands of times better. And something I wanted to point out is I'm memorizing lines for a scene that I'm doing. And I have never been able to memorize things so quickly as I am right now, while I'm like getting good sleep, not drinking, exercising regularly. It's like I can kind of just read the lines once or twice, and then I get a pretty good sense of them. It's crazy. I never thought of myself as someone who has a good memory. I don't know. I have to believe it's correlated. And also I found that the more I talk about the not drinking thing, when I talk about it in front of people that are drinking, sometimes it becomes a little awkward for them, or they feel like they don't know how to respond, or I feel like I'm a bummer. But then there's always the occasional person that's like, oh, I don't drink. And then you have an initial, like, immediate bond. Not that, like, I'm going sober forever or anything, but still, I'm finding so many more people don't drink than I thought. So tomorrow is my 31st birthday, and it has been about 3 months since I haven't been drinking or vaping or anything. And this is the first birthday I've had that I don't want to do anything. And I've actually had people reach out and be like, are you okay? You seem quiet. You seem withdrawn or whatever. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's okay. I think it's balance, maybe growth. I don't know. Not that doing something to celebrate your birthday is not grown up. I mean, of course it is, but normally I would plan like maybe a dinner and then going out with a bunch of people. Emphasis on the going out. But I'm just feeling like not doing that and just kind of relaxing, maybe playing some video games and going for a nice long hike that I want to go on and doing some healthy stuff for myself. I'm still debating whether or not I'm even going to have some of my closest friends come over. I just kind of want to just be chilling. I know for some people that's really normal, but for me that's not the norm. Part of me is a little worried that I'm losing my personality, or the personality that I thought I knew of myself. The version of myself I was familiar with, which is like, let's go out, let's go meet people, let's get the party started, let's get going. And that part of me isn't really as loud anymore. It's not really here anymore. And I'm a little sad about it. But I'm also really happy with where I am right now at the same time. I feel like I'm having like an identity crisis a little bit. Maybe that sounds really dramatic. I mean, it's been like 3 months, but yeah, I definitely noticed a difference. I definitely noticed a difference in my anxiety. I have less anxiety than I normally do if I was drinking, but just some stuff that I'm picking up on. I don't want to lose all the fun, wild stories just because I'm not drinking right now. But I also don't feel like going out. Just went to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. No alcohol. Had a blast. Was wearing next to nothing. And still felt confident enough doing it. Screaming and shouting along with everyone. No booze. Had one tiny little weed seltzer, but it was only 2 milligrams. I didn't feel really anything. But we did it, and it was fun. Yeah, just wanted to let you know. It is the 27th of October. I started this journey on the 16th of July. It feels longer, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just leaving a workout class. I have to say, I have really regained autonomy over my mornings, which is
fairly helpful for the rest of the day. I've been waking up naturally at like 8, which makes me feel good. I still have trouble sleeping. I don't know what the deal is with that. I lay there and I think for hours. Maybe I need to do a video on how to fall asleep, but otherwise, I still feel more rested when I do sleep. And it's crazy because my whole routine is different. Like, I don't go out, really. Like, I'm not going out as much, or really at all, to be honest with you. So money I would have spent on drinks, I'm now spending on iced matcha lattes. Instead of being hungover on the weekends, I usually get up early and do some work. I probably should get a little better at the work-life balance because I still don't fit in as much time to socialize as I probably should. Unfortunately, I think I associated socializing with drinking, and so now I just think I need to be working all the time. But, pros and cons to everything. Hey, just getting ready for bed. Hey, just getting ready for bed. About to. Just kidding, it's Halloween. I'm Merle the high-flying squirrel. Bill Pete? Anybody? Okay. A good friend of mine, Keanu, gave me this whiskey that's like alcohol-free whiskey, and I've ripped like 4 shots of this thing. There you go. It's filled with B vitamins, but it also has like the similar aftertaste to whiskey. Oh God, my upper lip is sweating. Anyway, I was shocked by how much this whiskey tastes. I mean, this non-alcoholic whiskey tastes like whiskey. It's really good. And it's also like actually healthy. It gives you like the sensation of a shot. It's amazing. I'm obsessed with it. And you can drink as much as you want without worrying about driving or anything. You can just live your life and rip shots. It kind of has like the woody flavor of whiskey. It's really tasty, honestly. If you love whiskey, there's got a little vinegary-ness in there too. But anyway, it's time to go to the Halloween party. No drinking. We'll report back and let you know how it goes. Okay, I just need to share this with somebody. I just walked up, almost basically opened the door into someone else's apartment, went to the wrong party, dressed like this. She was very nice about it, She was really kind. She looked like she felt bad for me. Okay, I just want to share this, not to discourage or anything or to be a bummer, but going and not drinking and being around a bunch of sweaty, drunk people, it's really loud. I don't think I ever realized just how loud it is in bars. I don't think I ever cared. I do realize this looks like a horror movie right now, but you gotta roll with it. I've been thinking a lot of things. I'm like, am I a different person when I'm not drinking? Am I just getting older? It wasn't hitting the same. It really wasn't hitting the same. And I kind of wanted it to, but at the same time, I was like, I kind of want to just go home and go to bed. I didn't spend any money because people keep giving me these tonic waters with bitters for free. Only one time have I been charged for that. I don't really miss waiting in lines. I don't really miss the crowded, sweaty loudness. I just don't really miss it. I don't know. But it does seem really intimidating to talk to people. Like, it does seem more intimidating to talk to new people. Not impossible, but it takes a little more effort to go and talk to someone you don't know. Instead of when you're drunk or when I'm drunken, it just seems like the most natural, easy thing to do in the world. Granted, I still chat with people in line waiting to get in, but once you're in, it's kind of like, ooh, what do you do now? I'm ready for bed. So that's that. Merle the squirrel out. Okay, second night dressed up as a squirrel, and I'm at a party, a house party this time. No drinking. It's awkward. I feel so awkward. I literally feel like I just keep standing, talking to Aria, and then being like, why are we alone? I don't know how to enter the conversations. Because it's so much more intimate, and I'm genuinely like so nervous. Like, people are intimidating me. I don't know, it's so weird. It's just like, normally I wouldn't even think twice about this, I don't think, but anxiety, I'm getting some serious social anxiety. Okay, I do want to say that the party got better last night. After being there for a little bit, warming up, settling in, it became easier to talk to everyone, and it was less uncomfortable and felt way more doable. It was just like there was no social lubricant to like ease you into the flow and ease you into the conversations. I was like hyper aware of everything at first. It was awful, but it got better, and I had a really good time actually after I just kind of got over myself. I think I realized that I think because I'm sober that everybody else is sober, but really like other people are getting drunk. And even if they weren't, I mean, it would be fine, but nobody cares if I'm sober or not. You know what I mean? Like, they're not thinking about it. If anything, they probably think I am drinking because they're drunk. So, almost 4 months. Oh my God. Last night, I had a dream that I smoked like 3 cigarettes and that I drank. And I was in Vegas. And I was like, well, you know what? It was bound to happen eventually. Like, I've messed it up. I ruined my streak, blah, 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 blah. I felt so guilty. And then I woke up and it wasn't real. But these guilt dreams are no joke. I literally thought that I had just done it, but I didn't. yeah, just really weird what your brain does. I don't know where that came from. Okay, so it has been almost 5 months. Is that right? Yeah, almost 5 months. No drinking. Energy's still good. Clarity of life, good. No vaping. No nicotine. I definitely have turned to caffeine in a very real way, but it feels more sustainable. I just like iced matcha lattes. We hosted a game night tonight and it went really well. We had so much fun. I was a little anxious because we didn't have any like alcohol here, but I made a stew for people. I cooked food for people. I never would normally do that. So I made everyone a really delicious vegan stew and we had a lot of fun. It was a really good time. Didn't miss it. Did not miss the booze at all, honestly. And didn't wake up hungover. And won't wake up hungover. So that's really cool. So yeah, things are working. I'm feeling good and it's getting easier by far. I also went out for like drinks with everyone in my acting school. Pretty much everyone was drinking, but I went to the bar with them. I got myself a nice little mocktail, which was expensive, but that's LA. It was $12. I'm like, come on, it was great. It's about 6.5 months into no drinking. I always feel like a new person or a different person in a weird way. Like the part of me that wants to go out and just like talk to strangers and enter the like side quest mode feels like it's dormant, and I find myself spending more time inside. There have been some good things, like becoming more of a morning person, although I have slipped a little bit on that. I haven't been working out as much. I haven't been getting up as early. I've been playing a video game a lot. Baldur's Gate's been taking over my brain for a bit, so I'm a little obsessed with that right now. For New Year's Eve, I stayed in and played Baldur's Gate instead of going to a New Year's party. Granted, I was like, had the flu, so it made sense, but still, like, I wanted to stay in, and that's not normally like me at all. So part of me is embracing that, you know, there's another side, there are other interests, but I hope I don't lose that sense of adventure in the process. I don't want to stop thinking, you know, anything could happen tonight, or like the world's my oyster, because I feel like I've lost that a little bit, which is probably important to notice. Like, drinking shouldn't give you that feeling that the world is your oyster, or like that the night is exciting or the night could go anywhere. And the night should be able to go anywhere anyway. I just don't know how to do that without alcohol, weirdly. I'm about to go to London and Copenhagen for the next 2 weeks. Sober travel. We're entering the sober travel chapter. There were some times over the trip to Europe that I was like, oh my gosh, this sucks. Like, we got a free wine bottle with our hotel room. We got a bottle of champagne, and it's like neither of us drank it. And that kind of killed me a little bit on the inside. Because I'm like, this would be something I would enjoy so much. But, you know, I mean, I got over it. After the moment passed, it was like no big deal, you know. It's very interesting to me because I simultaneously feel like I never want to drink again, and also that I'm looking forward to drinking again. It's been like 7.5 months, and I definitely see the benefits. I definitely see the amount of money I'm saving. I definitely see how it's made me more of a morning person and someone who works out. It's definitely exposed me to my social anxieties that I have. It's truly a mixed bag. Like, the idea of drinking now that it's been like 7.5 months, I'm like, it would feel wild to me, I think. I'm almost like, I made it this far. What's the point in drinking again? But then I'm like, but I also do love to be able to have that option. I don't know. Okay, so today is the 25th of February. I believe that makes it almost 8.5 months of no drinking. And I'm walking to one of my HIIT workout classes. And I wanted to talk about last night. I had a friend come over. I was so nervous because I realized in the past I would just have, you know, this is someone who I'm friends with, becoming better friends with. We're not at the phase yet where we're like, we can just sit and do nothing. I mean, we could, but I wouldn't like rely on that per se. Like, I wouldn't depend on that quite yet. No, I want to impress still. We're not past the honeymoon phase of our friendship. So I made nice food. I made some like good food, and I was like, I wonder what we're going to talk about. And there's so much to talk about. Like, there is and there isn't all the time, you know? Let me just say this. We had a great time. I realized that like normally I would have drinks and maybe make like a little cocktail, or I don't know, have something else where I'd be like, well, at least that's going to make it fun. You know, worst case, we just get drunk and go out, and that'll be fun. But now that's not really an option. Now it's more like focused on the conversation and just the sober experience of just being two people that are spending time together, which is really great. But also a little daunting, and it was fun. We had a good time. There were definitely some times where it was like silent and I was like, boy, what do I talk about next? But for the most part, there wasn't that many of those moments. I realized how much alcohol like lubricates me socially. It's such a gross word to use, honestly, sorry. But I've been listening to this podcast, this episode of Life Kit by NPR, and it's called How to Become a Super Communicator. And I would highly recommend it to anyone. It's just really cool. It talks about how to have better conversations, how to be a better super communicator, aka a better listener, and how to ask more interesting questions, more probing questions, how to connect with people, and how to look at an interaction or a conversation as a success as long as you had an understanding with each other, even if you disagree. So it's really great. I really love it. It's very inspiring and fun and cool. It's just cool to think of conversation as an art form. I'll put that in the description if you guys want to check it. I highly recommend. And that's pretty much it. I'm on my 9th month now. I've got a new therapist who I like a lot. And she's been recommending some Brene Brown to me. No, that is not a dessert. She has like the top 5 most successful TED Talks. She said that her sponsor told her, the opposite of addiction is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is connection. And that like blew my mind because I'm like, whoa. You know, from this journey, I've been learning that I really struggle more socially than I thought I did. I mean, it's doable. It's just different. Not having that crutch, not having that alcohol to numb the negative feelings, the insecurity, the embarrassment, the humiliation, or the self-consciousness. You also numb the positives, like the joy and connection with other people. You numb it all. So you're not fully really being your authentic self. Even though it feels sometimes, I always thought I felt like an emphasized version of myself when I was drunk. But really, that's not the truth. So it's just giving me a lot to think about. And that's amazing. And it's really powerful. And it's security. I actually feel security in myself because I can predict things more. I'm more in control. And even though it feels good to be a little out of control sometimes, depending on how much you're doing it, there's a real downside to that because I feel like I was starting to lose track of myself and like always thinking the drunk me was more fun. But that's like a really sad thing to think because you as yourself should be the best version that everyone wants. You drunk can be a good time, but you don't want people to like prefer that to your sober self. At least I don't want people to prefer that to my sober self. I want to be able to show up in all the fun ways and the loud ways and the excited ways that I do when I'm drunk, that when I'm sober. I want to be just as fun. You know, maybe I'll be a little less chaotic and a little less wild, but I'll be in control and it'll be my choice. Yeah, been planning my trip with my mom to Ireland and I won't be drinking in Ireland. And I always thought I would get some nice Guinness, some Irish whiskey. It's kind of like what the Irish are known for, or not the only thing, obviously, but like one of the big things is their pub culture. So that should be interesting to handle. We'll see how that goes. So we're in Ireland. We're staying in Ireland, and there's a big pub culture here. It's a little easier not to drink because my mom doesn't drink. But there's a little part of me that's like, ooh, it would be fun to like go grab a beer, chat with the locals and like have that experience. But we're just gonna go to the pub anyway. And we're going to I'm gonna get a 0 alcohol Guinness or Heineken or something and listen to some traditional music and see how it goes. And I'm hoping that it'll be as fun, if not almost as fun. So we'll see. Okay, tonight I'm going to be part of this improv show, the Everything Now show. And I'm very excited, but I'm also super nervous. And I think normally before something like this, I would like have a drink or like maybe take a shot or something for like, you know, just to like kill the nerves. But we're going to be going in cold. We're going to be going in raw. And this would be a good challenge because I'm very nervous. So I am basically at the 10-month mark of the no drinking, and it's been amazing. I mean, I'm loving it so far. I'm currently listening to this book called The Body Keeps the Score, and in it talks about how we use substances to try to soothe ourselves if we have trauma or there's some unresolved pain or grief you're going through. Or, it could be a crutch, of course. But in my case, I do think as I'm thinking back, just like the ways I would use alcohol to like, if you go through a breakup, your friends and you are like, let's go out tonight. Not saying there's inherently anything wrong with that, but sometimes that whole like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to actively cut myself off from thinking about the thing that's making me feel a certain way. By doing that, cut off the feeling. I'm not going to feel it. Of course, it catches up to you and it's usually worse. But anyway, just thinking about that, and I'm finding that through this whole experience, along with a lot of other work I'm doing on myself between therapy and meditation and working out, I'm finding a way to process my feelings and sit with the uncomfortable feelings, which is really hard and challenging, but so important. I'm not as worried anymore about people missing like the fun party version of me. And again, I'm not saying I'm never going to drink again, but I don't really care about that anymore. Like I kind of moved on from that. It's like I can still be super fun and I want to challenge myself to do the things I would do. Anyway, one of these days I'm going to do sober karaoke, maybe at the year mark. I was up till 2 a.m. going to 2 birthdays yesterday. One at a house party, one at Dave & Buster's. Didn't drink. And you know what? Not having a hangover is priceless. It's Sunday. I have so much to do. And I'm actually going to do it today because I can function. It's incredible. My sleep was better than it would have been if I was drunk. Didn't vape, didn't smoke. That alone makes me feel at least my age and not 85,000 years old when I wake up. So even though I slept in, I'm functional. I'm fully functional today. I could go work out. I could go do things. I could talk to people today. I can edit. I can do what I need to do. Priceless. That said, I am now officially less than a month away from my full year of no drinking, which is crazy. Crazy town. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. We're really getting close to the finish line here. I finally reached July, and I'm 2 weeks out from the 1 full year with no alcohol. I kind of can't believe it, but also it's sort of become like the new norm for me. So it doesn't even seem that crazy anymore. Like I actually think if I kept going, I would be used to it because this is what I do now. It's like you kind of adjust to whatever becomes habit for you. So what I will admit is that in this last couple weeks, this last month before it's up, I've been getting the craving to go out. I've been kind of feeling like a countdown of oh my God, I could really use a night of going out, dancing, having some drinks, going to karaoke. And obviously I know you can do those things without it. I have tried and tried again. It's still fun. You can still have a blast. I think there's a chance I'm just so used to having the social lubrication of alcohol that it's just not exactly the same. I mean, how could it be the same? It just isn't. It isn't the same. I'm not going to pretend like it is. But what's amazing is that when I'm not drinking and I go out, I don't lose the next day. I don't lose, I don't have a hangover. I don't have that anxiety. My mental health overall has improved. So I'm a little nervous for when this ends, because I'm like, oh God, it feels like it'd be fun to keep the momentum going. Well, not fun, but it would be good to keep the momentum going because the momentum kind of makes it more attractive to keep it up. So I don't know, but I can't believe it's almost been a year. Actually, it's wild to me. So there are 4 days left until the 1 year is up. And now is the time that people have been starting to say, oh my gosh, your skin looks so good. What's the secret? Even when I'm not wearing makeup, which is what is insane. And it's almost like my body is I know you're going to be tempted. Look at this. Look what it can do for you. Look what can happen if you don't drink. And I mean, truthfully, I do think my skin looks a little more glowy than usual. It doesn't it's not crazy, but people don't normally say anything. And in the last 3 weeks, I've heard it from 4 or 5 different people. And I've seen it in comments. And so I'm like, gosh, the momentum is so important for things like this, I think. There's something in me that's just don't go back. Just stay not drinking. But there's another part of me that really doesn't want a hard and fast rule on it. And I truly, at this point, don't believe I need a hard and fast rule on it. Or I know I don't need to say I'm never going to drink again. But it does make me wonder, do you really need to? I think if I want to go out and have some hedonistic nights sometimes, it's just not the same. It's just not as fun to be around drunk people when you're not drinking, for me. And, I'm curious if I once I have my first hangover, like, is it just gonna be like, click, okay, nope, we're done. We tried it again, we're done. I don't feel like this sucks. The anxiety is too much. Because frankly, life is so stressful on its own, and I live a pretty privileged life, and I still get stressed. So adding alcohol into the mix is only gonna make that harder sometimes. So I'm just feeling a lot of different ways, but if I'm completely honest, in this moment today, I'm excited for it to be done, and I'm excited to be able to have a celebratory drink with my friends, and I'm excited to be able to have a few drinks at a wedding. I'm excited about that. I mean, part of me feels like that might be disappointing to hear, but right now I do feel excited about it, and I kind of want a hedonistic night out. I just really want to ensure that I stick with my no nicotine, because I think that's the number one thing for me at the end of the day that I'm like, no, that I don't want to go back to. Guys, we did it. A year of no drinking. Today. A whole year. No alcohol. That's pretty crazy. For me, that's pretty crazy. Okay, so it's now officially been like 2 months, a little over 2 months since my year of no drinking ended. And I want to give it to you straight. I'm not going to make you wait for another video to know what happened. Did she stop drinking, or what happened? So I'll just tell you, this year of no drinking has made me reevaluate so much about why I drink, when I drink, how much I drink, how I feel when I drink, after I drink, before I drink. And listen, I'm gonna give it to you straight. The first night I went out, we had a night out on the town, crazy night out. Ended up riding a mechanical bull. We were out late. I was up with my friends at a Denny's in the 6 in the morning. It was a night. It was expected, but it was a night. My phone got stolen, actually, too. So that was awesome. And, after that, I was like, okay, this sucks. The hangover was not great. I definitely drank water throughout the night to, try to help. But it was a lot. So since then, I have had a couple other situations where I've just, gone out and gone so hard, or just gone out for so long that I'm like, this is not even fun. This way that I'm doing this is not fun, because I'm not someone who drinks at home or at the end of the day want to have a glass of wine. I'm either not drinking or I'm drinking. It's not a thing where I'm casually sipping all the time. It's either I'm going out or I'm staying in and getting up early. I've saved thousands of dollars over the year of not drinking, if not just $1,000. My skin had never looked better than it did at the end of that year. I definitely know 2 things after this, okay? I don't like the feeling of waking up and being like, was I too much? Did I say something I shouldn't have? Did I offend someone? Did I embarrass myself? I don't like that feeling. I'm about to turn 32 in 3 days. My birthday's October 5th. But I'm about to be 32. I'm not trying to be, me being brought home after that first night out. Now 2 months after, I've had a handful of nights out that have been crazy nights out. But most of the time, I've found that I don't want to drink. It's not until I'm doing a social thing or going to a social event that I feel pulled to do that. And I've noticed that on the days that I do go to a social event and I know I'm going to be going out, I feel anxiety. I actually feel like my stomach feels a little twisty, and I'm starting to wonder if that's what would make me start to drink in the first place in those social situations. I don't know. It's really weird. It's just something I wouldn't have noticed unless I had taken a huge step back from drinking at all. I'm just way more aware of my relationship to alcohol. I'm more mindful than ever about my relationship to alcohol and how it's been normalized for me, and how I kind of learned to be with alcohol just through college or through even family. All of this to say, it's a very confusing experience. I'm not sure what the future holds. I would not be surprised if there comes a day where I just say, I'm not gonna drink anymore, just because I don't really feel like I need to. But I still do enjoy the feelings of having a crazy night out once in a while. I think it's about how often, and you don't need to stay up all night, and you do need to go home, and you do need to mix in water. I think another thing that's really important to me through this process is knowing that I can stop drinking. I never thought I couldn't, but I didn't know if I would be as happy if I couldn't go out and bars and go dancing. And my life was very full. It was different, but it was very full. And now I'm gonna try to find that happy medium that has both. And if I feel like I can't find the happy medium, then I'll happily just not drink. If it's not giving me positives, there's no point. And I already know I can be really happy not doing it. So, I don't know. It doesn't hit the same as it used to when I was 22. you know? And I think that's a good thing. I'm glad it doesn't. I'm glad that I'm evolving and changing and trying things. If you want to evaluate your own relationship with drinking, I encourage you to do so. I can remember a time when I thought there's no way I could do a whole year of no drinking, and actually it was amazing. The bottom line is I don't need it. I don't. And I'm not at a point where I'm gonna say, I'm never gonna drink again. But I am at a point where I'm gonna say, my relationship to alcohol is changing, and I think that's a good thing, whatever that means for me. And I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this journey. I appreciate you holding space for me. I would not be able to make videos like this for a living if it weren't for sponsors like today's sponsor, Squarespace, who's been with me for a long time now. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out or if you're already managing an established brand. Squarespace makes it easy to engage with your audience, create a beautiful website, and sell anything from products to content to time. And you can do that all in one place and on your terms. Engage your creativity and make a completely personalized website with Squarespace's brand new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint. So if you're like, I want a website, but I truly have less than zero knowledge on how to do so, you can choose from professionally designed layouts and styling options to build a site that's personalized for you and your brand. Okay, but once I build my website, how's anybody gonna find me? Don't you fret, because you can easily launch your website and get discovered fast with Squarespace's optimized SEO tools. So you show up more often and to more people. Furthermore, you can connect all of your social media accounts so that you can help to grow your brand's footprint. And your Squarespace site will be doing all of this for you while you're out there in the world doing busy, important people things. Squarespace offers your customers a seamless checkout experience, accepting credit cards, PayPal, and Apple Pay. And in eligible countries, it also offers your customers the option to buy now and pay later with Afterpay and ClearPay. So go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And once you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/MerleO'Neil for 10% off the purchase of your first domain or websites. That is www.squarespace.com/MerleO'Neil for 10% off the purchase of your first website or domain. Get out there, get after it, make your dreams come true. Anyway, let me know if you've ever tried something similar. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a long one to make, but definitely brought a lot of value to my life. So I love you guys. Ciao for now. And I'm not gonna say like and subscribe, but like and subscribe, okay? Thanks. Appreciate you. Have a great one. Bye.